The Oklahoma City Thunder are headed to the NBA Finals. Jay Skapanak has said on this show previously that, Jason, you're overlooking the greatness of the OKC Thunder. You're way too focused on the Timberwolves. You're way too focused on Anthony Edwards. And so I'm with the Thunder now in the NBA Finals, having won these 4 games mostly in blowout fashion, or maybe all in blowout fashion. I want to bring Scap back to restate or further elaborate on, because my takeaway, I look at Anthony Edwards, the inconsistency of his play, the lack of competition, how these games were all blowouts, and I want to wag a finger at Anthony Edwards and the Minnesota Timberwolves. You're saying I'm missing the boat. I should be in awe of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Help me understand.
Well, Jason, first of all, thanks for having me back on. And secondly, yes, I've been out in front of this. I'm on the right side of this team. I'm on the right side of history here on this team. I've been saying this since the summer of last year that this was coming. It was brewing. It was easy to see. It came from miles and miles away. The dominance of the Oklahoma City Thunder, the pending dynastic grasp that the Thunder will have on the NBA. This is the next thing. This is the next great all-time team. Jason, this team was ranked number 2 last year in total net rating, in simple rating system. They were the best team in the NBA last year other than the Boston Celtics. They did it with their entire core of being 25 or under. Their 2 best players last year, 2 of their 3 best players rather, Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren, were 22 and 21 last year. So this was the 2nd rated defense last year. All of this with that young of a core. They went out this offseason and added 2 top 5 rated defensive players for their positions in Isaiah Hartenstein and Alex Caruso. It was simple to see this was coming with the natural maturation that this core was going to make, coupled with those free agent acquisitions. And what we have now, Jason, is historic. This team set the all-time NBA record in net rating this year, in simple rating system, in total differential per game in the regular season. And now they are absolutely obliterating teams in the playoffs, minus, one of the top 10 greatest players ever, Nikola Jokic, who can do that to you and just kind of neutralize you to some degree. But they still blew them out in Game 7. And I just think that everyone has been missing the boat on this Thunder team all year, talking about, oh, they're too young. Oh, they're not tested enough. No, this was simple to see, Jason, and get ready because they are very young. So that Shea just hit his prime at 26. Jalen Williams is 23. Chet Holmgren's only 22. The sky is the limit for this team. They're all contractually obligated, all of them, through the next 2 years. They're all on manageable contracts. The NBA, there's nothing any team is going to be able to do to thwart this team in the next 4 to 5 seasons.
So you've been screaming this since last year. We still got Scap. You've been screaming this since at the beginning of the season, Scap. Was there anybody in the mainstream media, Charles Barkley, Kenny Smith, Shaq, Kendrick Perkins, Stephen A. Smith, was there any conversation, Tim Legler, was anybody else on this boat screaming this from the rafters?
Again, Jason, not to toot my own horn, but toot. I do not think so. I have not heard people out in front of this team to the degree that I have been. I picked Shea to win the MVP preseason, the Thunder to win the championship easily, and them to start their dynastic grasp on the NBA. It was only in Nikola Jokic's extreme excellence and unparalleled season that I changed throughout the year. I said that Nikola Jokic should be the MVP, but I knew that he wasn't going to get it because I thought the Thunder would win near 70 games this season. They did. I thought that the Nuggets would struggle to win 50 games this year. They did. And coupled with the fatigue of Jokic winning 3 of the last 4, I knew Shea was going to lead the NBA in scoring this year. He did. So I just knew that all of the narrative elements were going to be shifting towards Shea. And now Jason, I just don't see any way that any team is going to be able to stand in the way of this team. They have four of the top five net rated defensive players in the league this season, seven of the top 20. Jason, that's why when you watch these games, it's not just Minnesota. Denver at times throughout their series, like multiple games throughout their series, multiple games for the Timberwolves, multiple games for the Memphis Grizzlies in the first series. They looked like they didn't even belong on the same floor. It looked like non-NBA teams playing an NBA team multiple times for every team they played in the playoffs. And that's why, because they have seven top 20 defensive players. There's no weakness, no way to attack. And they just force you into bad shots, deep rebounds, turnovers, and they're just keyed on the break. You fight and you struggle for an entire half to stay within 7 or 8 points with them. Then they just hit you with a flurry where you're turning it over, you're taking bad shots, they're leaking out, and it's a 15-2, 17-2 run. All of a sudden, you fought so hard to stay within 7 or 8. Now it's 25, and you're getting absolutely eviscerated off the court. There's no way you can beat this team 4 times out of 7. I've been saying it all along. And barring some significant unforeseen super trade this summer, like involving Giannis Antetokounmpo, just get ready, because the Thunder, they're going to be even better next year. I just don't see any way that they're going to lose.
Scap, so would you say the media has been derelict, malpractice even, in terms of letting sports fans, NBA fans know that they're actually witnessing greatness? We spend so much time talking about LeBron James, so much time talking about Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, the GOAT, Michael Jordan, the GOAT deal, Boston and Los Angeles and these major cities. What we're looking like, the media has misinformed us about what's actually going on. And if they had told us this was an all-time great team, perhaps more people would be interested in what OKC is doing and celebrating it, rather than looking to point a finger of blame at someone.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great point. And I think, yes, I only keep a cursory glance on the mainstream, but I do keep a cursory glance of it. And, Shannon Sharp for one, Stephen A. Smith for another, Nick Wright. Like, these are people that were talking about the Lakers winning the NBA championship as recently as like 3 weeks ago, still 3 or 4 weeks ago. Then when the Lakers got taken out, it became, oh, Anthony Edwards is the face of the NBA. Like, how far could they go now? Can they compete with the Thunder? I mean, no. The answer has just been no all the way along. And I think I want to just throw this in too. I think it's a two-tiered approach by the media. I think in the underplaying of how great this team truly is and how well this team is built and constructed, Jason, like the best top 3 in basketball and the best bench in basketball, and as I said, 7 top 20 defensive players. Like, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is great defensively, but he's the 4th or 5th best defender on that team. I think by underplaying all of this, they could uplift Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and really make him look like the guy, because they desperately wanted to not give Nikola Jokic a 4th MVP. That was another major thing that was plaguing the NBA's media this year. Like, how can we figure out a way to not give it to Nikola Jokic? So we couldn't talk about the Thunder being this fledgling dynasty monster, because then it would make it look less impressive what SGA was doing when you compared it and contrasted it to the inept, putrid Denver Nuggets organization, which fired its head coach and general manager with 3 games to go before the playoffs started. That's how bad that team is. That's how bad that team was constructed.